This is Paul McGann, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast.
The tangents and squeak continue all the way to episode number 58 podcast. Click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up right first in the YouTube comments. Why not? And watch out for the trolls. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going around the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Belvedere. This is Holly from Wisconsin.
This is Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We are ish this week. We're sans Chrissy, which is unusual, actually.
Yep.
So, but Chrissy says hello, and she may join us later, off doing, if she gets free in time. But if not, hopefully she'll be with us next week. So, as it is, whenever we're ish, we shall soldier on. Anyways, so not a lot of news, but what news we got, let's jump into it. So, first things first, if Chrissy was here, she would be talking about this. But Haley Atwell has pretty much confirmed that she is going to be at Salt Lake Comic-Con. She is yet to be officially announced, but she, on Twitter, somebody asked her if she was going to be there, and she said she would be, and she plans on crashing Chris Evans' panel and as many photo ops as she possibly can. So those of you that got Chris Evans photo ops, you may get lucky and get a twofer. I'm just saying.
In somewhat related news, Billie Piper has canceled Fan Expo.
Oh,
Her
no.
schedule for what is it?
Is she still doing Penny Dreadful? Is it Penny Dreadful?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Her schedule changed, and she's gonna be filming that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah,
There was another convention that she was also going to be at that weekend that she also canceled. So.
Well, she was supposed to be at Wizard World in Chicago this weekend, and she had to cancel.
Maybe that was it. I remember that she canceled Fan Expo, and there was another one that she canceled because of the same reason. So
yeah,
that might have been it.
I was trying to find the link before we started recording, and I can't find it. But I'm sure Chrissy knows where it is. But I guess Alex Kingston has canceled coming to Salt Lake Comic-Con. So Rory will be without his daughter, apparently. So I told Chrissy that the powers that be realized that they couldn't have Captain Jack Harkness and River Song in the same building at the same time. The universe would explode or something, that much personality. So, someone had to give.
I think it has happened, because I remember one of them crashing the other's panel at something.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So.
But yeah, and Fan Expo says they're looking for a new Doctor Who guest to replace Billy, to go ahead with the Doctor Who event on Saturday night. So.
I'm sure they will find someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. Such it is with conventions. That's always the.
Well, some people are saying that now they're not going because Billy was the reason that they were planning on going.
Oh yeah. I see that. I see that a lot. And I always have that in the back of my mind when I, am planning to go to a convention. I've got my badge and I've paid for it, and there's somebody I want to see, and I constantly have this in my mind, like, please don't cancel, please don't cancel, please don't cancel, please don't cancel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be sad. My wallet will be happy, but I will be sad.
Yeah. So.
Oh, stay tuned to the social medias. If there's somebody you want to see, they may pop up at another convention. You just never know. Or something may happen and they may be able to make it. Because I know, like, Billie Piper, when she was at Chicago TARDIS, she was it Chicago TARDIS? or Gallifrey. I think it was Gallifrey 1 that she was going to cancel because she got sick, and then she decided at the last minute to go ahead and show up. Yeah.
Well, that's when I met her at that finale.
Yeah. There's so many people are like, I will gladly get sick because of Billie Piper. I will gladly catch her germ.
Yeah.
I'll gladly suffer the contract.
You're gonna get concrete anyway. You might as well, make it good concrete.
May as well come from a celebrity.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's move on.
Moving on. Bobby Morris, aka Mockingbird fans, rejoice. The spinoff, which was is back on. The series, which is called Marvel's Most Wanted, will follow Adrian Palik's Mockingbird and Nick Blood's Lance Hunter in a dramatic action series. According to Variety, ABC does not know when the series will premiere or how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will set Marvel's Most Wanted for launch. What is known, however, is that S.H.I.E.L.D. producers Jeff Bell and Paul
Zabzewski?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Sorry,
Yes.
Paul.
will showrun and executive produce the series along with co-writing the pilot. Marvel's head of television, Jeff Loeb, will also executive produce. Yeah. Variety exclaims that the series will not be a spin-off in the strictest sense, but rather a series focused solely on Mockingbird and Lance Hunter's adventures. Kind of sound like, I guess, like how Torchwood is with Doctor Who.
I guess.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm guessing from that.
Yeah.
bit.
But apparently the pilot has been ordered by ABC. So at the very least, the pilot is going to happen. Now, whether it gets picked up is yet to be determined. So the way I understand how the TV things work is they'll get an idea and then a script, and they'll shoot the pilot and then probably show it to like test groups or whatever, and like, is this something you'd want to watch? And then they'll decide whether they actually want to pick it up, and then they'll show so many episodes, and if it's successful, then they'll continue, and if not, it gets canceled.
That sounds about my knowledge of this.
Yep.
How it goes through.
So we'll see, I guess. Wait and see.
And continuing along the lines of Marvel and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Dub Smash Wars continue. Oh my gosh. This time, it's all for charity. When a trip for you and a guest Hollywood to have lunch with Haley, Clark, James, and Chloe from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel's Agent Carters at coldrise.com/dubsmashwars. Every dollar you donate is one vote for your favorite team in the Dub Smash Wars and gives you one entry into the contest. The more you donate/vote, the better your chances. Man, this is going to be epic.
I know. I'm so excited. In the video, they put up a video on YouTube with Haley and James, and then Kurt and Chloe, and like talking, and they're like bad mouthing each other, like, "Oh, we won," and they're like, "We won," like, really? And there's clips from some of the Dub Smash videos, and then they come together and they explain how you can go to this website and you donate money, and each dollar you donate is a vote, and that also gets you entered. They'll have different prizes, but the big prize is a trip to Hollywood and have lunch with Haley, Clark, James, and Chloe, to the death. That was the biggest thing. Every other thing, Chloe's like, to the death. So, but this will kick off in, I think it was early September 1st, something like that.
I think
So
so.
stay tuned to the various social medias, and they'll. I saw it go up on Clark Gregg's Facebook page, which you need to be following Clark Gregg on Facebook.
Yes.
Seriously,
Yeah.
he posts the best thing ever. So, but it'll be for a good cause. Team Shield, Team Carter, each have their own charity. Whoever wins will pick a song, costumes, and choreograph everything for the losing team.
Oh boy.
It's going to be win-win for us.
Yeah, this is going to be something.
It's going to be so good. I love it. So. Oh, so. I may have to bucks and put like $5 in and vote for one or the other or both or something. I
I
don't
was
know.
going to say, if I vote, I'm going to somehow vote for both.
Yeah.
Make it an even
I'm on
amount and then
Yeah.
half and half.
CrowdRise website. It says contest starts September 2nd.
September 2nd. I knew it was early September.
So
Cool.
September 2nd.
Stay tuned. It's going to be so entertaining.
Stay tuned.
So entertaining. So excited. And speaking of charity, this time last year, we were all either watching and or participating in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which was cold for us. But then you get the very celebrity videos, especially Benedict Cumberbatch's "Hello" ice bucket videos. It's been a year since that was a thing, and actually they're doing it again for the month of August. The ALS organization is encouraging people to do it it's like the hashtag is like every August till a cure. So they're encouraging people to do it every August until they find a cure for it. But the good thing is, and actually I heard this on NPR before I actually read anything, but the Ice Bucket Challenge last year brought in $115 million to the ALS Association.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Which compared to 2013, when they only brought in $23 million. So it definitely, helped as far as that. But the best thing is, with at least some of this money, because the money gets divided up among research and other stuff to keep the organization going, but with this, influx of money, researchers at Johns Hopkins University have identified a protein that apparently doesn't work properly in patients with ALS, and if they can repair that, the cell can actually repair itself and heal. So in the past year, with this influx of money, they've actually made really good headway in possibly finding treatment for ALS that may lead to a cure. Now, the article, if you want to read it, it goes into more detail, and it says, things like research and all this stuff, it could be more years down the road before we really see, definitive results, but it's a step in the right direction is really the biggest thing. So that's awesome, really.
It's nice, like, we all enjoyed watching and participating in this, but it's really nice to see that it actually did make a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to make a difference. Is the best thing. So, now they can fund this research and continue it and, hopefully get to a potential cure, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So,
yeah.
Pardon me. So, yay. So dumping that cold water on myself was so
Yeah,
worth it.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, that's it for news. I know you didn't add it, Holly, but the
poll for the Traveling the Vortex Book Club for September is up, so we have plenty of time to vote.
Yep. So, and right now, my book choice is in the lead. Yay! Just saying, it's Sixth Doctor and the Brigadier. That's all you need to know. It's got the.
And it's readily available since it was republished as part of the history collection.
Yes.
In case that affects
Sways your vote.
anything.
If that sways you any.
If that sways your vote at all. Although I will note that the second place book is also readily available. So, sorry.
Get your vote in, and I would say vote early, vote often, but you can't.
You
So,
would prefer.
yep.
Yep. And pictures are provided.
Yes.
Pictures are provided.
See?
And you can't really see from the picture what the title is, but if you want, you can vote for something, see
And
what
change
all
your
the
vote.
choices are, and then change your vote if you decide there's something you want to read more.
Exactly.
I've tried, but there is no option to do picture and text.
Why?
I know. I wish there was, because then that would make it a whole lot easier.
It's so much easier.
Unless
Like,
somebody who's in Goodreads
What if you did like a
knows a
secondary
little bit more,
poll?
please let me know.
Yeah. Dear
What you did, like,
Goodreads.
2 polls. One had pictures, one had text. It's like the exact same options for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You could, if you did 2 polls, then people might vote on both of them, and then you'd have to like
Do some
add
math.
up the results.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're like,
That sounds
Oh,
like
they
that
all
involves
I
math.
don't know,
Yeah.
if you could figure out like maybe how to put comments on the poll, and like these are the options. I don't know. Is that a possibility?
Maybe.
That might be a possibility.
We'll let you finagle with it, Holly.
Figure it
I'll
out.
finagle with that. Less math involved, the better.
Yeah.
I'm decent at math, but sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the time of day, it gets a little iffy.
There
Well.
is a comment and details.
Yeah.
Let's see what that's about.
Well, with that.
Yeah, I think we would have to add the titles, like maybe in the comments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also looking for ideas for the photo challenge for next month. So if you want to leave a comment on our Facebook page or tweet at us or tweet at Brittany.
I might stop putting. I used to have a poll on my blog every month. I kind of fell off that. I might stop doing that again.
Yeah. We need ideas for next month and for future months. So help us fill the idea book.
For next month, but not for the month after that.
Right.
We already have that.
Yeah.
But for like November, for September, and then from November onwards.
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Well, let's get on to the topic for this week. We're going to do another, and again, you can't see me, but air quotes, top 10. This time of in honor or in celebration, whatever you call it. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably saw a few months ago that YouTube turned 10 this year, which is weird. Because it seems like I've been using it for longer than that, but really I have not. So we are going to do our top 10 favorite YouTube channels, which actually it works for this week because the Late Late Show with James Corden, if you watch that, he did a show this past week that was all his guests and all of his segments were YouTube related. And he did the show from the YouTube space in Los Angeles. So that was kind of cool. And actually, a couple of the people that are on our list were on the show, and we'll put a link to his YouTube channel, and you can see some of those segments if you wish. A bit of a disclaimer, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. Unlike our other top tens, where pretty much anything goes. We were a bit more discerning with this particular list, and we tried to keep it to non-network, I guess, related channels, because things like the major TV networks, the BBC, ABC, have YouTube channels, even specific shows like Doctor Who. You know, the Nerdist has a YouTube channel. We wanted to avoid those types of channels because they're so mainstream and well known. So we tried to go with, some of these are still well known channels, but they are people that more that often than not got their start on YouTube and have become famous from being on YouTube and have maybe gone on to bigger, better things in more mainstream media. But at the end of the day, they are a YouTuber, for a lack of a better term. So these are in no particular order other than how we copied and pasted them into the page, into our notes. So we're just going to go down the list here. And we know some of them are a bit more obscure, and we're hopefully by the time we get through the end of this that maybe you'll have heard about a channel that's like, oh, I need to go check them out, and may discover a new favorite channel you want to subscribe to. So again, in no particular order, but on the top of the list is Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, which I think we actually mentioned and talked about a little bit briefly because he was at PopCon. I actually got to meet him. But Andre it's exactly what it sounds like. He is a black nerd. He loves, both a lot of stuff that's popular now, but he's old school as well as old school as you can get, being of our generation. But from the 80s and 90s, the classic cartoons from the 80s and 90s, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the X-Men. He's a huge Smurfs fan. He loves his Smurfs. He's a fan of the most of the the superhero movies and stuff that are come out now. A lot of things he does on his channel. He does a lot of movie reviews. Spoiler free and spoilered versions, unless the movie really sucks. In that case, it's nothing but spoilers. He doesn't bother to do two separate videos. Case in point, Pixels and the new Fantastic Four. He's like, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to throw spoilers in here because these movies basically suck. He does Black Nerd Rants, which can be about anything and everything. He does unboxings. And some skits. He does occasionally. He does awkward talks with girls, which is my husband thinks are hilarious.
His minion skit was cute.
Yeah. And then he does do some vlogging when he goes to events. Some conventions he puts up short little vlogs, and sometimes the other people, recognizable people or other YouTubers will appear in his videos. Andre is exactly what you would expect from a nerd, but he's very confident in he's very set in his, he knows what he likes, he knows what he doesn't like. He will tell you he's not a brony. He likes a lot of things. My Little Pony is not one of them. Even though the people keep sending him DVDs of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic for him to review, which cracks me up. I'm like, Andre, you can send him to me if you want, if you really wanted to. He's hilarious. You know, I don't always get or understand everything he talks about. He talks a lot about some of the TV shows that he watches on a regular basis, like the current Ninja Turtles and whatever version of Power Rangers we're on these days. Dino Charge. He does episode reviews of that, and of course I don't watch those, so those go right over my head. But I really enjoy his movie reviews, and a lot of his rants, actually. And his unboxings, it's always fun to see. He has a Loot Crate subscription, so he'll do his unboxing of the monthly Loot Crate. And it's fun to see him get excited about certain things, and he seems to know every reference and like every theme song to everything. And like, you watched way more TV than I did as a child, apparently, and it all stuck in your head. Yeah, I love Andre. He's the nicest guy. When I got to meet him at PopCon, we had a nice little chat that I know I talked about it a little bit when I did my PopCon recap. And he's hilarious. So, you know, if you're into nerd culture, he's definitely one you want to watch. Even if not everything is relevant to you, he's bound to do something that you'll be like, yes, this is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone have anything else to say about Andre?
I have to agree with you. I love checking his site, going back even into his older stuff. It's just fun. I mean, you can tell he's a fan. I mean, if you look at the back of his set, you're trying to point out, like, okay, I know that fandom, I know that fandom. Is that what I think it is? You know?
Yeah. And regardless of what his topic is, more than likely he's wearing a T-shirt that is relevant to that topic. I would love to see his closet, because I'm sure it's nothing but graphic tees of every fandom you could possibly think of. I imagine his closet looks kind of like mine, but with more T-shirts. All right. Moving on. Next on our list is another one of my personal favorites, and one that I love watching every single morning during the week, is Good Bleh. I can't talk. I'm so excited. Good Mythical Morning, which is the main chunk of Rhett and Link's second channel, which Rhett and Link, they have 3 channels. They have their main channel, which is mostly their music videos and local commercials. And then there's their second channel, which hosts Good Mythical Morning and some other stuff. And then they have Good Mythical More, which is the show after the show from Good Mythical Morning. But Good Mythical Morning is, I use the term loosely, talk show, hosted by Rhett and Link. It's on Monday through Friday, and I think they just started their 8th season, I think, of Good Mythical Morning. It started out as a completely different show called Good Morning Chia Lincoln, where they had one of those chia pets, but it's the head of Abraham Lincoln, the bust of Abraham Lincoln. And then when they moved to California, it became Good Mythical Morning. But Rhett and Link they're best friends. They've been best friends since first grade when they met when they were living in North Carolina. And they've been friends ever since. And they started out doing like skits and funny music videos and local commercials. And they ended up getting a short-run TV show called Commercial Kings, and they came out to California and did local commercials here out in LA. And their commercials are they take small like mom and pop run businesses and try to make interesting and funny commercials to try and get, maybe if they go viral, then to help out the business. But on top of that, they converted Good Morning Chia Lincoln and turned it into Good Mythical Morning. And every day they do something different. Sometimes they do games, things like is this a real app or not? And one of them will give the name and a description of an app, and they have to guess whether it's an actual app or not. Sometimes they're food related, like they've done a like the Walmart taste test, where they'll take two different food items and they have to figure out which one's the Walmart brand and which one's the name brand. Sometimes they do food experiments. They have a current running segment called Will It, insert thing like Will It Taco, Will It Ice Cream Sandwich. The most recent one was Will It Jello, and sometimes it can get quite disgusting. If you go to their channel and if you can tell if it's something food related, I recommend not eating while watching. Just as a PSA, because you may lose your appetite. Sometimes it's hilarious, especially watching their reactions when it's something disgusting. Link is very sensitive and to disgusting things, and also hot things. If he eats something spicy, he almost immediately starts hiccuping, which is always hilarious.
Hiccuping.
Yeah, hiccuping. Why not? Eat something hot, you get the hiccups. That's Link's thing. They, like I said, they do that Monday through Friday. One consistent thing is on Thursdays, it used to be they did it in the show itself. Now it's moved to the Good Mythical More. They open up fan mail, and we'll talk about it. And if it's something they can play with, they'll play with it. Sometimes it's food, like they'll get like weird candy or chips or whatever from like Korea or Japan or something, and they'll eat it and see if they like it. And then now they're doing, they've teamed up with an animator to do animated versions of songs that they made up last season. Every Friday, they would do make up a song on the spot. In a separate video with another YouTuber, and now they're working with an animator and they're animating some of those songs. So because both Rhett and Link are very talented when it comes to music. Rhett plays the guitar, and they're good singers, and they're really good about coming up with funny stuff. Sometimes on the spot, sometimes not so much. But it's a staple. I get up in the morning, and if they're not on their break in between seasons, I get up in the morning and get ready for work, and I'm eating my breakfast, and I'm watching Good Mythical Morning. It's just like one of those things, most people turn on the TV and watch like the Today Show or whatever, or their early morning soaps. I watch Good Mythical Morning because that's my jam. So, But like I said, if it's something food related, you may not want to be eating while you're watching it. FYI. But other than that, and then their main channel, they've got all their music videos that they've done during the time that they've been on YouTube, and some of them are sometimes the song itself, maybe not the music video is, and then sometimes the song is just catchy and it'll get in your head, and you'll find yourself humming it later, and you're like, what is that? So, oh, that's the thing I watched on YouTube. It was those guys. And I've actually met Rhett and Link several years ago when they were moving from North Carolina to California. They were driving a U-Haul across the country, and they decided to stop along the way, preferably in places related to stuff they'd done in videos, and they happened to do a commercial about a old-fashioned pharmacy / soda fountain here in Indiana, down in Corydon, which was but the pharmacy's name is Butt Drugs. So they made a commercial about butt drugs, so they decided on their road trip that they would stop in Corydon at Butt Drugs, and then fans could come and meet them. And so Chauncey and I decided to drive down, and we hung out with the other Rhett and Link fans, and we got to meet Rhett and Link, which was really cool, actually. So, Butt Drugs. So you can see that commercial on their other channel, which I can post a link to it. I'll post a link to the vlog that Chauncey and I shot on our little road trip to go meet Rhett and Link. You can see that as well.
I may have to put that on my list.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. They're very entertaining. They're family friendly, other than sometimes they eat stuff that's kind of disgusting. But if maybe you got children, they're like, that's gross, I want to see more, and they might find it entertaining. I mean, they never eat anything dangerous. They always make sure whatever it is they eat is actually technically edible, even if it's not something you probably want to eat or should eat, but it's safe to eat. You won't go to the hospital. So, and they don't curse, and they don't use vulgarity, or there's no nudity or anything. So they're family friendly. They're both of them married. They have kids. So Rhett Link.
It's gonna be on my to watch list.
Yep. So let's see. Next is, I know one Chrissy added. She went ahead and decided to add some to our list, even though she knew she may not make it. Which I know this one she's actually talked about. I think a couple of times. But it's just some random guy, where he essentially takes, toy action figures and does little videos, with comic book superheroes. But I've watched a few of him, and he's quite funny, for it being low tech, I guess. Not much in the way of a lot of special effects, or he doesn't put a lot of money, I don't think, into the videos. But
sometimes that's all you need is just toys.
Yeah.
Couple action figures, maybe a lamp.
Exactly.
And a camera to capture it all.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I know Chrissy is a huge fan of him, and for a while there he had stopped posting stuff, but he's picked it back up, and he started posting videos again, which made Chrissy very happy. They probably made his subscribers very happy, actually.
I used to watch him a lot when I was some years ago, but I don't know why I stopped, but I need to get back.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Especially now that he's making stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure Chrissy was here. She would have more to say about him, but she's not. So,
Yep.
Next is, I think, a personal favorite. I think of most of us, at least for some of their videos. Even if you don't recognize the channel name, Screen Junkies, you're probably familiar with one of their series, Honest Trailers.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoever writes the scripts for the Honest Trailers, which I'm sure it's probably multiple people, but still, they're brilliant. And then the voice.
The voice.
It's really the voice, which if you go back to the really early Honest Trailers, it's a different voice and it's a little discerning. Because you're used to the voice they have now, and I've watched some of their older ones. I'm like, wait, what? That's not right. So the voice they have now is, I think, way better than who they used to have. And that makes some of them really... their Guardians of the Galaxy one, I think, is my absolute favorite Honest Trailer. Oh, cracks me up every time. That one I can watch multiple times. And then they also do... movie fights, which I haven't really watched any of those.
Yeah.
And then they also do just kind of miscellaneous, I guess, type videos. Things like movie science, the Fantastic Four, that sort of thing. They'll review things, or they'll go into more detail about stuff. Like they covered Comic-Con, that sort of thing. But it's Honest Trailers really that is, I think, their bread and butter. More than anything, at least for me. I just I could watch some of them over and over and over and over and over, especially the Guardians of the Galaxy ones.
Yep.
What about you guys? Do you have any personal favorites with the Screen Junkies?
There's a lot to choose from it.
I think the thing with the Honest Trailers is it's not necessarily new stuff. I mean, they will do new stuff, but they'll do more older, obscure stuff. Like, they recently did the Super Mario Brothers movie, which apparently has been long awaited. Like, people have been wanting this one for a long, long time, and they finally did it and made a lot of people's day, I think.
I don't know if this is true for everybody, but I always, for some reason, like the one when they make fun of the ones, like the movies I love more than the ones that I hated or didn't like. I always find it more amusing watching, like, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Which even in the Guardians of the Galaxy one, they're like, yeah, we're really reaching for ways to insult it here. It's a good movie.
Yeah. They've done it with a few of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Yeah. No. I mean, the whole thing with Honest Trailers is that, they try to poke fun and point out the mistakes and all that. But sometimes a movie is just good, and it's hard for them to insult it, so they have to find new ways to be funny.
And in other ones, it's too easy.
Yeah, like the Mario Brothers. Just saying. That is a couple hours of your life you will never get back.
But you won't regret it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you might. Bob Hoskins, may he rest in peace. Oh my. Oh, next up is one that I've actually abandoned and realized that I haven't really been keeping up with what they're doing, but need to. I'm going to be doing some serious video watching later. Is the piano guys, which yeah. It's exactly what they sound like, although they do more than just play the piano. They actually play the cello as well. But they do covers for most of their videos. Sometimes it's classical music, sometimes it's movie scores, sometimes it's popular music.
Sometimes it's a mix between them.
Sometimes it's a mix, and as they've been able to do more for their mixes, which are the music is really cool and amazing in itself. I really enjoy. Especially like popular music, like rock music, with classical instruments. So things like the cello and the piano. I love that. But some of their videos are just so cool. They did a Batman one where they do the main score from all of the Batman movies, and like they have the Batmobile and the different Batmobile. It is so cool.
One of my favorites is the cello walls with the medley for all the Star Wars.
Yes, yeah, and the bows become the lightsaber. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And they've teamed up with some other artists for some of their videos. They've got one with Lindsay Sterling, at least one.
One off the top of my head that I know they did with her was they did a cover for Mission Impossible.
Yeah. They've done. They've done a few also with, what's his Alex Boy.
Yes.
So they've done it, which he does like African type music. So they've taken some popular songs and made them classical sounding with an African twist, which is really cool.
It's amazing.
Is really cool. Their version of Coldplay's Paradise is just like
beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And these guys actually go on tour, so you can actually see them in person, which is I would love to do that. It's like on my to-do list now. If they ever come near me, because I would love to see them in person. So cool.
Yes.
Yeah. And prolific with their as much production value goes into their videos, and they obviously put a lot of time and effort into the videos. They're pretty good about getting new content up there. Is not daily or weekly, but I mean it's they've got a good number of videos up there, and they're still making stuff. So They're awesome. I love it. I need to watch. I need to get caught up since I watched one of their videos. So I think the Batman one was actually the last one I watched. So I'm a little behind. Which happens on YouTube, YouTube, unfortunately, especially when you subscribe to as many channels as I do. Alrighty. Moving on. I didn't add the next one, so.
No, I did.
Okay.
It's
somebody else talk.
Yeah. So she does videos where she started off. I don't know. She started with this, but where she's been reading and reacting to 50 Shades of Grey.
Sorry.
Also, more recently, she did, to change it up a bit, where she was reading this fan fiction. It's called Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles, and it's basically a uber Christianized Harry Potter, and it's really weird.
I kind of remember hearing something about that version of the Harry Potter, so I might have to check that out and see.
It's awful from a religious and non-religious point of view. It's just
wow.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered what that was. I went to her channel and saw the titles of the videos. I'm like, what is this that she's talking about? But now I know.
Also got a few vlogs, like personal vlogs of like just stuff like Q&A and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that, and she also does some reviews and
yeah. So I've been watching the 50 Shades of Grey reading, and I just watched this. She's got 3 videos up for Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles. So for the first 3 chapters, and then because she reviews this stuff a chapter at a time, so she's got 16, I think, for 50 Shades of Grey, and then 3 for Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles, which she only started like 3 weeks ago.
So it wouldn't take long to get caught up then.
No.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. That Harry Potter thing sounds like a train wreck. It sounds like a train wreck I need to witness.
Cringe-worthy. Okay. Absolutely cringe-worthy.
It sounds like.
My brain just can't wrap around it. That's like, what?
Obviously, someone had a lot of time on their hands. Oh my. More power to her. Oh. Interesting. But this is why we did this list, so we could introduce each other to some maybe more obscure YouTube channels out there, and you may discover something like uber Christianized Harry Potter, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, when that makes your brain hurt, then you can go over to the Potter Puppet Pals YouTube channel. We just throw that in there.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Mysterious Ticking Noise. That's all I gotta say.
I haven't watched one of those in ages. Maybe after we're done here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Okay. Well, before my brain fries, let's move on here. So
Yeah.
the next one, I know Brittany, you added this one, but I actually know this one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sweet.
But since I know it's yours, you can go ahead.
Okay, the next one I put, her name's Heather Feather. She's what they call ASMR artist, which I put a link for the wiki explanation because I'm horrible at explaining it.
Yeah. I don't know if I could explain it a whole lot better, but I can certainly try. ASMR essentially is, if you're watching a TV show or a movie, or even if you're out, like if you go to like your local library, and you know it's going to be quiet, and noises like people turning pages or writing stuff or typing stuff on a keyboard. For some people, it doesn't work for everyone, and it works differently for everyone as well. But for some people, it generates an actual physical response to the noise, and it's usually a tingling sensation. Where it manifests on the person's body is different for everyone. In my case, it's usually in my legs.
For me, it's my middle of my back.
Yeah. But it's essentially, it creates a tingling sensation, but the tingling is not like when your foot falls asleep and it's like a painful tingling. It's, you almost get a high from it. It's a very pleasant feeling, and for a lot of people, it's a really good way to relax, and for some people to fall asleep. For people that have trouble, have it like your brain doesn't want to shut off type thing, and it makes it difficult for you to fall asleep, you focus on the sounds and you get that tingling response, and it makes you very relaxed, and can help you fall asleep. It's become more mainstream, I think, in the last maybe year, maybe two, with YouTube. I actually have had playlists on YouTube going back several years where there are videos that aren't intentionally ASMR, but either the person's voice or whatever it is they're doing. Mm-hmm. So I have a playlist that I will play if I want to like take a nap in the middle of the day, because I've gotten to the point where it's really difficult for me to fall asleep without any sort of white noise. But it sounds really weird, especially to people that it doesn't work on them. But for the people that it does work on, they get it. But Heather Feather is ASMR on YouTube, tend to do very low. They don't put a lot of like money into it, or they do real simple things. Heather puts a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Themed. She's got different characters. She's teamed up with, and she's got, she will do different videos based on people's responses, saying, these are things that will trigger me. There's some sounds that work for some people and don't for others. Things like, I respond really well to things like, paper, like shuffling paper, or flipping pages. But other things like tapping really don't do anything for me. But for some people it does. And sometimes it's just the person's voice.
Yeah,
well.
like when whispering and like soft spoken. And another one, like, it's not just like sounds or the voices, it's like personal attention, where it's like it looks like the thing to you, which gets it triggers me sometimes.
Yeah. And the way that they do that is and I know Heather and some of the ones that really put more effort into their videos, they actually make microphones that have 2 mics so that they can alternate between one side or the other. So it'll either be stereo or they can focus on one ear or the other. So if you have like earbuds in and they're doing something like a personal attention, and they can make it sound like they're speaking into one ear or the other, and they can do the sounds like, you know, like giving somebody a haircut or a scalp massage or something. So if that's a trigger,
It's actually
it works.
Kind of interesting that some of the mics actually look like ears.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually did not know what the proper term was. I just knew that I had these videos that if I played them, I just got these tingles and I wanted to take a nap. And I think I happened across another video just explaining what it was. And I was like, oh, it actually has a name. So you can actually go into YouTube and look for ASMR and find some of those channels over there. But yeah, Heather is, and I'm glad she's feeling better.
Yeah,
she's back to doing her thing.
Surgery, I think it was the second time. I thought because she had it before.
Yeah,
but
she was in the hospital, and had to step away from her channel for a little while. But some of her fellow ASMR YouTube friends were keeping all of her subscribers updated. But yeah. So if you're if you're laying down and you're having trouble falling asleep, try out an ASMR video on YouTube. I can almost guarantee you're going to be asleep before the video's over.
I made a joke one time, like, ASMR videos probably the only type of videos with the best couple minutes that you fell asleep.
Exactly. Pretty much. And it's funny because you look in the comments and you can tell the people have no idea what it is. They're like, why are they speaking so quietly? Why don't you speak? Like, no, that's kind of the point. Whispering is our friend.
It's like, a lot of them, including her, but they do, like, role plays where, like, and one of my favorites is she does 2 Hunger Game ones. One is, like, right before the Hunger Games, and she's doing a makeover, and then, like, after you won it, and then she's, like, taking care of you. I don't know why, but I always love those. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen those. I know she has one that I really love where she is in, she's doing a, measuring someone for a suit.
Yeah.
Doing like a clothing fitting. So, which has her writing stuff down on a piece of paper. So again, like I said, paper is one of my triggers. No, I don't know why, but I like the sound of paper. I told you. You put that on there, I'm like, I know her. That made me excited. So, we may have to do a separate podcast episode all about ASMR and try to explain it. I don't know if we can. But.
Yeah, it's like I try explaining to people, like, for some reason I can't.
Yeah.
Because I send them either video links or something, and they're like, ooh.
It is a weird thing to try to explain, but if people really think about it,
it makes sense.
It makes sense, but I think for the most people are so used to a lot of noise. Yeah, they're listening to music, or they got the TV on, or they're going to movie, or they're playing on their games on their phone or whatever. But if it's quiet, it's the real simple ambient noise that is the what really gets to people. At least some people. So. Alrighty then. Moving on to the next one, and I got to do this properly here. I got to do it right. I'm hopefully going to do it justice here. But epic rap battles of history. That's just exactly what he said. Better than history. Which just so happened to be one of the guests on James Corden on the Late Late Show with James Corden, actually. But and I think I shared their most recent one on our Facebook page when it came out a few weeks ago. They just finished season 4, but it's Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter are the two main guys, and they do these short music videos where they will take, for the most part, real people from history, either living or dead, and put 2 of them together, and they will have a rap battle. And they dress up as the person. All of the lyrics either are about the person or insulting the person they're rapping against. And they're hilarious. They're not family friendly, I will tell you that. Most of them involve curse words that you do not want your children to hear. There's a few. They have a couple that are curse word free. They're probably still not family friendly. But they've had a few where Rhett and Link have been in them, and since Rhett and Link try to be family friendly, those are curse word free. And then they did one where it's Newton. Is it Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye the Science Guy, and that's got Weird Al in it. So that one is more clean because Weird Al tries to keep himself as family friendly as possible.
Yeah.
But
my brother watches those all the time.
Yeah, I've watched all of them. I watched, I don't know at what point, it was like several months ago, where they came out with a new one. I watched it and was looking through their channel to see what others there were, and realized how many there were. So I went back to the very beginning and watched all of them.
And how long did that take you?
A couple hours. Like I said, they just finished season 4, but they've done a lot, and they do all their mashups based on comments on the videos, like who's they'll ask who won, who's next. So they've some of them are just absolutely hilarious, like some of the insults that they come up with. And like I said, sometimes they have guests, celebrities that'll make appearances. Like I said, Rhett and Link have been in a couple. Weird Al was in one. They've had what else have they had that's like recognized? Snoop Dogg has been in one.
Oh yeah.
He played. That was Moses versus Santa Claus. So, but they've had some weird mashups. Some of them make sense, like I said, Sir Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye the Science Guy, so science related. They've had Doc from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra versus Freddie Mercury.
Those Groot versus I can't remember a guy from Game of Thrones who can only say his name.
Oh yeah, Hodor.
Hodor.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't remember his name.
Although technically his name isn't Hodor. Hodor is just what he says, and so they started calling him that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But they're one of the ones that I think is really taken off is Mozart versus Skrillex, which is what which is what they performed on James Corden's show. They've actually done that one live a couple of times, and at one of them Skrillex actually showed up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And since then, in the at least the last season, they've really expanded not just on the the raps themselves, but they're also doing behind the scenes videos as well, so you can see what really goes into the makings of these videos. Because I mean, they do the costumes, try to be as accurate as possible for the characters that they're portraying. You know, they have to write music, and then they got to film it, and they got to be able to do the raps. You know, when they're filming it, you know, it's like a music video. They gotta, you know, lip sync it, 'cause that's the way they do music videos for the most part. But still, you got to be able to lip sync to the rapping. I mean, it's like legit rapping. Like if I tried to rap like that, I'm pretty sure my lips would end up in a knot.
Yeah.
And my tongue would be on the floor because it'd fallen out due to sheer exhaustion.
Yeah, I've seen at least a couple, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I overhear when my brother's watching, I'm like, Brian's watching another epic rap battles of history.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the one I shared was the season 4 season finale, which was Jim Henson versus Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with a special appearance by someone else, but you'll have to watch it to find out who. Spoilers!
Well, no spoilers, because you're not saying who it is.
Well, that's true.
I mean, if you said who it was, that'd be spoilers.
That's
But you're
true.
not, so.
That's very true. Okay, no spoilers, because I'm going to keep my mouth shut. How's that? Epic rap battle of history. Once you watch one of their videos, you'll understand why I said it like that. Alrighty then. Moving on here to one of our last ones here before we get to the honorable mentions. Because of course we have honorable mentions. It's a shame Chauncey is still not awake, because I know he would love to talk about this next one. The channel name is 331 E-Rock. I just know him as the guy with the long hair that plays really awesome electric guitar.
Yes.
And does really cool, like, electric rock guitar covers of insert geeky pop culture reference here. So,
Yep.
like, you know, he'll do themes from movies or TV shows. Sometimes he does his own cover of other popular songs, music from video games. You know, it's, for the most part, it's him with his guitar standing in front of the camera, just rocking it out. Yeah, there's not a lot of, you know, high-end production value into it, but he's extremely talented with his guitar playing, and I know Chauncey wishes he was half as good as this guy on guitar. But he, you know, I'll come in and Chauncey's watching him play something, and I'm like, sometimes Chauncey will be like, "Hey, listen to this, guess this song," and I'm like listening, like, what? It sounds familiar. What is that? And pretty much anything goes, really, as far as what he'll cover. I mean, he's done everything from...
He's done Let It Go from Frozen
to Hall & Oates to... Whitney Houston. So, it's he's good. He's very, very good. Oh, he's. I know he's not from America, but I'm blanking on where he's from.
I don't know either.
I don't remember. Like I said, if Chauncey was awake, he would know. I don't remember. But he's cool. He's cool. So that is it for our main list. Well, like I said, of course we have honorable mentions. Because we can. Because we learned how to do our top 10s from Lou Mangello.
It wouldn't be a 5-ish Fangirls top 10 if there weren't honorable mentions.
Well, that too.
Exactly.
But so as far as actually our honorable mentions list could be just as long, if not longer, than the list itself. So this is probably one of multiple top 10 YouTube channels that we made too. As we keep discovering channels. But one we actually mentioned, Lindsay Sterling, who is what 331 E-Rock guy is to the electric guitar, Lindsay Sterling is to the violin.
Mm-hmm.
Or the piano guys, the two piano guys, which explains why they've teamed up with her at least once. She is. You wouldn't think somebody could, rock out on the violin, but what's cool about her is she has done some covers or her own versions of stuff, but she's also done a lot of original music. It's kind of like the two piano guys. She makes some really cool music videos to go with them, with the music. She's awesome. It's people like her that make me wish I could play a musical instrument, and I can't to save my life. So I just watch and go, yeah, good for you. You do that thing with the musical instrument because I can't. No. And she's also toured as well. And like the two piano guys, you can buy her music. It's out there, available for purchase. So, if watching it on YouTube is not enough. If you want to take her or the two piano guys with you, you can.
Yeah, I have a lot of the two piano guys on my iPod.
Let's see. Another one, another personal favorite of mine, who was also a guest on James Corden's YouTube show, is Candy Johnson, who, at glance, if you just look at her channel, you're like, oh, she's a makeup person. She does hair and makeup, and to some people that may seem very shallow or whatever. But Candy, I mean, that's what she does. She's actually trained as a professional makeup artist, so she knows what she's doing with some lipstick. But she does one of the things that's made her really famous is her ability to do transformations with just makeup and make herself, or someone else, but mostly herself, look like someone completely. She has done, and what she did on James Corden actually as well. Excuse me. She's gotten some attention for her her tutorial on how to look like Barbie, and like the Barbie, like the doll, complete with the painted on like super long eyelashes and the shiny pink lips that like reflect like they're plastic and that sort of thing. She does some amazing tutorials for like Halloween. Like she's done the Queen of Hearts from the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, and some Disney princess looks. She's done. She's made herself look like Miley Cyrus, like, like straight up like Wrecking Ball Miley Cyrus, music video Miley Cyrus. And she's really talented, but it's also her personality. It's really is what drew me to her and has made me keep watching. Is she's always, although not always, but she tries to be positive. Just because she's had stuff happen. She's gone through divorce, and her dad died in a tragic accident a couple of years ago. But she's always tried to remain a positive voice on YouTube, which, YouTube can be a pit of just drama, nastiness, and despair if you're not careful. People troll, not just, there's trolls. I mean, there's trolls everywhere. On the internet, but there's something about the YouTube comments section that can be a cesspool of just like, really. But Candy always tries to be so positive, responding to people either in the comments on Twitter or on her Facebook. She's always posting encouraging things, things may, trying to encourage people, things may be tough right now, but, if you hold on, things will get better. She tries to let, people know that, you're beautiful regardless of what somebody else may say. So she's a very warm and inviting personality on the internet, when the internet can be a very not pleasant place to be. And then the fact that she's just really talented too just is an added bonus. And I think one of the reasons that they had her on James Corden's show, and poor James, she did the Barbie transformation on him. He was doing so well until she did the liner on the water line. You would have thought somebody was poking him in the eyeball with a tattoo needle. It's hilarious.
To be fair, I kind of react the same way.
Well, yeah. I do too. There's a reason I don't do eyeliner. But at the end, he thought he looked fabulous. So it was all worth it in the end. Next is one that I think I've mentioned before. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before. But it's Watch Mojo, which they, for the most part, their majority of their videos are top 10 lists, and they do 10 with some honorable mentions sometimes, but they do 10, And it's, I mean, they'll do top 10 almost anything. And the thing is they do their top 10s all based on viewer suggestions. So you can go to their website and register, and you can suggest a topic, and then once they'll pick a topic, and then people can submit their answers for whatever the topic is. So it could be top 10 funniest deaths in movies, which I'm pretty sure they've done that one. Yeah, one they just did put up recently, top 10 Doctor Who companions. Top 10 cliffhangers on a TV show, that sort of thing. So they'll pick a topic, you can go on the website, and based on that topic, you can submit your answers, and then from there, they rank them. And then they'll put them together in a video, and they'll have clips that go with whatever that thing is. And it's a lot of it is movie and TV related. Sometimes it's music related, top 10 rock bands, that sort of thing. Some are more obscure, like they've done top 10 sandwiches, top 10 sodas, top 10 fast food chains. If you want to rank it, if you think it could be ranked, they have done it or are probably going to do it. It's interesting to see how people rank things and what gets picked. And sometimes stuff gets, topics will be so popular they'll do it more than once, just because there's so many options to choose from. Yeah, I've watched most of their videos. Some of them I haven't, just because either the topic is not something that interests me. Like they do video game ones. I'm not a big video game person, so those aren't really my thing. And some of them are just, they don't really hold back as far as keeping things family friendly. I mean, you can find family friendly topics. Some of them not so much, and because we're family friendly, I'm not going to say what the non-family friendly ones are as for examples. Just to be safe. But if you go to their channel and look at some of them, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. But if you're someone that likes top 10s, fan of David Letterman, I guess, or whatever, go watch it. There's bound to be something, at least one or two videos that ranks something that relates to you. I will say the top 10 Doctor Who companions. Number 1 didn't surprise me. There was one that didn't even get an honorable mention that I thought should have at least got an honorable mention if I'd realized that they were doing that, but I didn't. And yeah. But I'll let you go watch it and see for yourself and see what you think. So there's them, and they put out a lot of videos, like multiple ones daily, every day. So apparently people around the world really like to rank stuff.
Does that surprise you?
No, well, in a way it does, but in the same vein, yeah, not really. Actually, it doesn't. There may be some people that would really, but we won't get into that. Moving on to another. For people like me that like to learn, but don't necessarily want to read, Crash Course is another personal favorite, which is education in short form for people with short attention spans, I guess. But they are, a lot of their videos are, the Crash Course is the brainchild of the Hank and John Green, which, if you're into young adult fiction, you know who John Green is. But he and his brother Hank have their own channel, the Vlog Brothers, and since then their stuff has grown and spread, and now they've got Crash Course,
and SciShow,
and all these other. They got multiple channels to their name, but Crash Course is. They do a series of videos on a certain topic, be it biology, U.S. history, chemistry, and they will do like 5 to maybe 15-minute long videos all about that particular topic. And the series may be 10 to 40 videos long, depending on how in-depth the topic is. But they tell you a lot of facts and figures, but they have this fun little animations and infographics that go along with it. So it's like Cliff Notes, but in video form, in a way. And I love watching them, but at the same time I realize that I must have slept through most of high school or something, because I feel smarter by the time I get done watching, but at the same time, like, how did I not know this already? Like, what was I doing in high school that I did not learn this? Or I did learn it and I forgot it. Or something. I don't know. I love the Green Brothers, but they make me feel very stupid and smart all at the same time. But I love them, so. So if you want to get a little smarter, maybe you're going to go on Jeopardy or something. Crash Course. Because it's exactly what it is. It is a crash course on whatever topic. Yeah,
that's what it says on the tin.
Exactly. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Another honorable mention is this guy I've been watching for like really early on when he first started on YouTube. His real name is Joe Penna. Most people know him as Mystery Guitar Man, which the story behind how he ended up with that channel name is funny in itself. And if you want to find out, you can go listen to Rhett and Link's podcast, Ear Biscuits, and they talk with Mystery Guitar Man, and he explains where the channel name came from. So, but he does mostly music videos, but he puts a lot of attention to detail and as best production value as he can into his videos. He does a lot of stop motion, a lot of green screen, but like good green screen, not like the weatherman doing the weather forecast green screen. They are just, it's crazy some of the elaborate videos that he has come up with, and a lot of them were shot in like his apartment he was living in at the time, with just him and maybe a couple of people helping him, if any. And he's done some amazing things. Not, just a computer and a camera and a lot of imagination. And he's just Yeah, he's one of those uber talented, especially musicians, where I'm like, you're talented with a musical instrument, and I'm not. Uh, um, but he's done. I mean, he's done stuff with post-it notes and playing multiple musical instruments and shooting a music video in one take without any cuts and um, all sorts of stuff. And he's done collaborations with some other YouTubers as well. He actually did a video with Rhett and Link, a stop motion video called T-Shirt War, which I can put a link to that as well, which was really cool. So, but he's again one of those talented people. It's like, yeah, you go, you with your computer and really, awesome technology that you figured out how to use. Uh, so that is, oops, I'm accidentally opening stuff. Don't want to do that. Go back to the notes. Go back to the notes. And these ones that were added, I don't know who. Yeah, so I don't know who these are. You talk again.
Okay. Well, the first one is the double clicks, which I don't know if we were recording when I mentioned about the video for Nothing to Prove, which is about like the whole gatekeeping and geeks among geeks pertaining to female geeks. So I was talking about that one, and then they've got a whole bunch of other ones that are like some of the ones mentioned. They are available for sale on I think it's Bandcamp. So, and I think on iTunes, because I've got some of their albums on my iTunes. So, yeah. So, it's just generally like geeky songs, kind of geeky, nerdy, whatever. Either like one is Tabletop, which is about them being on Will Wheaton's show Tabletop, and like all the games, and they talk about like playing all the different games that have been played throughout on that show.
Oh yeah. Which that's a cool show in itself, but Will Wheaton's a bit of celebrity, so
because they got invited to be on Tabletop, so they decided to write a song about it, and the song is about them preparing to be on Tabletop by playing all the games that had been played on the show up to that point.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Like all the titles of the clever ways. It's really interesting. They got one that's called Really Big Chickens. That's actually about dinosaurs, and how dinosaurs were just really, really big chickens. And it's actually kind of about like the whole thing about growing up and not feeling like you don't fit in, kind of thing. And they also have at least 2 covers of the Doctor Who theme song. One on cello, and one on cat keyboard. With meow.
I was going to ask if that's what it was.
Okay, I gotta watch that when we're done. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
They're really It's really cool. So
That sounds like it. Oh my goodness, I need to watch that now.
they're really fun. Like it's two sisters. So like I think their names are Alice and Aubrey, which they say in the tabletop song. So yeah, they're really. And then the other one that I added was Not Literally, which is this group that does parodies of popular songs, and then they parody it with like different pop culture like shows and movies and whatever.
Mm.
They've got 2 Doctor Who ones, Through Time, and what was the one? So, Regeneration Carol, which they wrote for Matt Smith's Regeneration.
Mm.
And because with Through Time and Regeneration Carol, you know, the guy who looks like Matt Smith, who was on that the Graham Norton show
Yeah.
for the 50th, that he's actually a cosplayer, a professional cosplayer. He cosplays the 11th Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So he appeared in both their Doctor Who videos as the 11th Doctor.
Oh, cool.
So they have a few different. They have a bunch up on their YouTube channel. Like there's
I think I've
Hogwarts,
seen that.
House Pride videos. They did there's a Ask Hogwarts series where people can send in questions and they're answered by. I haven't actually watched that. And then they did another one again with Matt. His last name is Elliot, so Matt Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
So where it's Ask the Doctor, and he answers a bunch of questions they numbered their episodes by the actors who have played the Doctor. So there's 13 videos because they did a special War Doctor 1 numbering system, and so he answers a few questions per video, completely in character. And I think one of the first video, one of the questions was, "Did he regenerate?" And he just kind of crumpled up the paper and threw it away over his shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't actually say. He just
Regenerate me? Never.
Regenerate no regenerate.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That might have been
If you want to check those out.
Mm. Like I said, we could probably keep thinking of channels.
Well, I mean, I added the double clicks and not
Yeah.
literally while we were recording.
Yeah,
While we were
it
talking about
is.
previous.
Yeah, you were talking about the double clicks, and it's like, oh, they're sisters, and they did a Doctor Who thing, and of course, immediately I think of the Hillywood show, the Hillywood sisters. It's like
Them, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We could do this all night.
Oh yes, we could, but we're gonna have to cut it off here, otherwise the show will go on forever, and we'll just need to do this topic again.
Yeah. Yeah.
We think we love you.
Yeah.
And we love everyone.
Yeah, well, I
who-
sometimes go down the rabbit hole of watching crack videos about the shows I watch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That can
Where
get
people
scary.
take the video from a particular show and the audio from somewhere else and just mash it together in interesting ways. And I go start and I'll click and it's next one and the next one. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting how, like, you start watching a certain set of videos and then you just go to the videos on the right side, like
the
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, recommended
the
recommended videos. It's like
how did I get here?
yeah. You start out looking, watching like I don't know, like the Doctor Who trailer for the upcoming season. Next thing you know, you're watching cat videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, how did I end up here? Oh, that is YouTube. It's like when you go to look up something on Wikipedia. Next thing you know,
Yep.
like what? From what year was Winston Churchill Prime Minister? Next thing you know, you're reading like the synopsis for some
20
obscure
pages
movie.
in on a completely unrelated topic.
Exactly.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you're reading the Wikipedia page about Nicholas Sparks novels or something.
Is that from a personal experience?
No, it's not.
I was gonna say.
I'm sure if you clicked the right link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never read a Nicholas Sparks novel and or read a movie.
You've never read a movie.
Never read
No, I've never
a Nicholas Sparks
either.
movie.
I guess technically you can if you put on the subtitles.
That's true.
True, but that's only part of the movie.
Yeah,
True.
we're not going to go there. Alrighty then. Well, with that, I think we need to wrap this thing up before we go
And
in.
Expo's less than 2 weeks away.
Woo!
So.
Not that she's excited or anything. Not that we ever get excited about conventions or stuff like that. No. Is that grin? Yeah. So, alrighty then. Well, if you want to join in and make this rabbit hole go any deeper with your own favorite YouTube channels, you can reach us at theblogspot.com. From there you can find links to anything and everything. Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. We're on YouTube. Imagine that! Shameless plug that fits right into the topic.
Didn't someone joke about putting our
Us on the
channel
list.
on the list?
Yeah. That's why we only have 9 on the proper list instead of 10. Because 10 go. Come to our channel.
Exactly. That's it exactly.
Yep. We left that slot open just for us. So yeah, like I said, you can find our Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. You can send us a message from there, or you can email us. We're on iTunes. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review if you're so inclined. If you got a few extra bucks you could throw our way, we are on Patreon. So you can find the link to that as well on our blog. Then our convention calendar, which I try to keep updated as best I can. You don't realize how many conventions there are out there until you try and write them down. Then you're all like, this is too obscure. No, I'll put it.
Somebody would have heard of it.
Yep. Yeah. So we try to keep that as updated as possible. If we happen to miss one, let us know and we will put it on the calendar. Just make sure you give us the name and the website, if there is one. Preferably a website. Doesn't have to be an actual website. It could be a Facebook page or Tumblr. Just something on the web that has the info for said convention. And we will put it on the list. So I think that's it. Because anything and everything can be found on our blog. So
Yeah.
well, you can come play with us on Facebook as well, as we post random stuff and celebrate celebrity birthdays and the like. Belated happy birthday to Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred because they share a birthday.
And also, Anthony and Anley's birthday was the same day.
Yeah.
Yep. So Sophie says that that's one of the reasons she and Sylvester got along so well because they share a birthday, so they're of a similar mindset.
Nice.
Alrighty then. Well, with that, I guess we shall sign off for this week.
This is Brittany and Dodo saying goodnight.
This is Holly from the Scouts and saying good evening.
Nick saying goodnight from Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. You know what? I'm going to put this up on YouTube like I do every week, but then I'm going to go comments and write first. You have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.